Welcome back to the tiny garden. It has been a little while since I put out a video, but today we are going to be harvesting our Christmas vegetables. I am so excited to see what I've got from this little tiny space to pop onto my Christmas dinner, because it is literally Christmas in a few days. So for my Christmas dinner, I'm hoping that we have some Brussels sprouts, a little bit of kale, some leeks and some turnips. I might have a little bit of salad to go with a starter, which will be super nice. But the main reason I'm going to harvest this bed today, like even the kale, I'm going to pull the kale out because I actually need to move this main bed here so that I can actually get on with the next part of the garden redesign, and this bed is completely in the way. So there is a little bit of kale left, so whatever I don't have for Christmas I will just blanch and pop into the freezer to have at a later stage. So I want to be able to basically take out everything that's here so that I can actually get in and start building new beds and manoeuvring everything for the proper redesign. So this whole space is going to be completely different. I'm hoping to move out everything that's here and then pop my cherry tree in and put it into a bigger planter so that has a better chance of kind of fruiting next year and more space to grow, and then maybe plant that out with some flowers and that become the kind of permanent sort of flower bed. And then I've got loads and loads of ideas for like this area of the garden, and like I drew up some plans which I think I'm set on now. So the idea for the main growing space is to have a whole new raised bed running along here, and then a raised bed along the back, and then some space for either a bench or maybe some pots, because I like to do my potatoes in pots under the window that's there. And then we'll have the cherry tree kind of over here, which will be lovely, and then maybe, if there's space, a mini planter in the middle, which would be amazing. So that's the idea at the minute. I drew up these plans, and yeah, it's a load of sketches. I've done this 10 times over. I'm still not set in stone. I want like a mini polycube. I want a mini brassica cage, but like literally there's only so much I can do in this space. So it's going to be a really, really exciting 2024. And I literally cannot wait to start sowing seeds again. I'm so excited for spring already, and it's not even really properly winter yet. So enough of my waffle. Let's get in and see what veggies we're harvesting for Christmas Day. So I'm going to go in and see if I have any leeks. Leeks are my absolute favourite vegetable. I don't think I've had the best leek season. I think my leeks last year were better, but this is my first year growing them from seed. So I have a few there that I can make into a trivet to stick under my turkey, and hopefully I've got enough to make a leek and potato soup. The one thing I do find with the leeks though, when you grow them yourself, is that they actually taste so much stronger than what you buy from the shop. So I think even if I've only got a couple of leeks, it should be okay to give that enough flavour to make a soup, and obviously like a little trivet to make some homemade gravy for Christmas. The next thing I want to go in and harvest is my sprouts. I think this is my most successful sprout year. Now I know I've only been gardening for 2 years, so I haven't got much to compare to, but these are literally like double the size of what I grew last year, and they are bursting, and they're like touching each other almost, so you can barely even see the stalk at the very top of the sprouts. So a couple of them at the bottom don't look great, so I don't know, like they haven't come to full maturity. They looking a little bit like sad, so I probably won't use those, but I should have enough here to obviously make my Christmas dinner. But I think I'm not actually sure how to cut these. I don't think my secateurs are going to go through it, so I'm going to bring out a trusty bread knife and I'm just going to chop away at it and hope for the best. And then finally, we're also going to harvest some turnips. I think they are just such a little cute little thing to grow. I do have some beets in here as well, but I don't know if they've had enough sunlight. This half of the bed does tend to get a little bit overshaded. I did harvest probably half of the amount from here, so I'm kind of happy with that, but I don't think they've had quite long enough, and obviously given the weather and the tops of the leaves, they're not good enough to eat. So anyway, I'm going to pull out everything from here. So I have two sort of smallish leeks in this bed that I'm going to pull out. You obviously can leave these in a lot longer, but I just need to move everything that's in this bed anyway. So all this tatty broken stuff, this is a salvia, and these are some beans that obviously went over, but I didn't decide to actually keep the pods in the end for these. I know I could have, because they were open pollinated, But I didn't get the best harvest from these beans, so I'm going to probably do pole beans next year. So I'm just going to pull out this leek. That's not so bad. It smells amazing. And I'm going to pull out this leek. There's no like leaf mine or anything, which is cool. So I know that can be quite a challenge. So I've got 2 small leeks. That's enough to make a trivet for a turkey. So I'm kind of happy with that. They smell amazing and they look super duper healthy. So I'm pleased with that. Obviously, if I wasn't moving this bed, I would leave them in longer. And then I've got 1 bigger leek in this little pot over here. So everything could do with a big weed, but obviously I was concentrating on exams, so didn't get round to it. So this one, oh geez, is a bit bigger. I planted these really deep. But yeah, perfect. I don't think I'm going to grow leeks in these pots again. I don't think I had the best harvest. I mean, I put like what, 5 or 6 in here with like what, 3-inch spacing, so maybe the spacing was a problem, but they definitely grew better in the beds. So that was a interesting leek harvest. I did think they would be a little bit better than that, considering I grew them from seed, but we haven't tasted them yet, so I will hold judgment on those. And I definitely have enough to make some soup and to make a little trivet for underneath my turkey. And the last thing I have to harvest is my carrots. So obviously, if you followed along throughout the season, you'd know that I pulled my carrots early that were on the skinny bed that was at the back, which is obviously moved now, because I thought they were starting to flower, but actually it was a weed, and it was incredibly embarrassing. So then since then I did like 3 or 4 sowings of carrots, but they just got annihilated by the slugs this year. I know slugs were a huge problem for a lot of people because of how wet the season was, but I think I've got 1 carrot and I'll be so pleased if it is like edible in any way. It looks really small. I think I planted chantenate in this bucket. I'm not 100% sure because I can't remember. But obviously I'm going to have to go and buy carrots for Christmas. But still, we'll do a little miniature carrot harvest and see how it turns out. Let's go. Oh God, what a fail. I thought that was actually going to be a good carrot because of the top. I can't believe that. Look at the state of it. That is terrible. That is the worst carrot harvest they ever had. Look, oh my gosh, I was holding on to them. Okay, so my harvest earlier in the year wasn't as bad as that. So it's making me feel a lot better about the carrot harvest that I did back in, I think it was like May, or I don't know, it was like beginning of summer, I think it was, because we had such a hot end of spring. But like, I can't believe it, like we're literally, it feels like we're back to how it was in the beginning of April when I started the channel. Like everything's just barren, the walls are grey, everything's damp, everything's brown, and yeah, I just can't believe like it's gone full circle. And yeah, it's been an amazing season. I actually can't believe it. We got like monetized, I think like 3 weeks ago. So the channel was like officially properly monetized. We hit 1,000 subscribers a couple of weeks back, and I didn't get an opportunity to jump on and say thank you to everybody for your support. So I just wanted to say thank you so much. It means the absolute world to me. I never actually thought I would be here 7-8 months into starting my like YouTube journey, gardening, that I would be where the channel is now, and I couldn't have done it without any of you guys. I think when I first said to myself, oh, I'm going to start filming, like doing a bit of filming in the garden, that kind of thing, and just sharing my passion with you, like I said to myself, oh, I just do 1 video a month, because obviously I started my masters and I didn't want to bring on too much, and obviously working full time. And then like out of nowhere, like I think I had like 100 followers like after like 2 or 3 videos, and I was like, oh, and then it just kept growing and growing and growing. So I was like, oh, I need to put out more and more and more, because there's more people and like want to give them something to watch. So a massive thank you to you guys for watching, but not only subscribing, for actually watching, because I'm not sure like does many people know this, but you need like a certain threshold of watch time as well. So I've reached both criterias, and it couldn't have been the nicest, like I suppose, start to December and an early Christmas present than to have this like complete and utter shock. And I couldn't have, really couldn't have done it without you. So thank you so much for being here, and supporting me along my journey. But enough of the emotional stuff. We're going to move on now and try and clear some of the beds that are behind me, so that in the beginning of January I can row in and start transforming the rest of the space, because if I don't get it done before February, I'm going to be really behind for planting next year. So winter and autumn are the best times to start your crazy redesigns and start moving and lifting and shifting everything. So I'm going to go over now and get my bread knife and see, can I give these Brussels sprouts, I'm just climbing over the bed. Honestly, this tiny garden is just a joke. Like, seriously, I cannot wait to have a bit more space next year. Trusty garden bread knife, and give these Brussels sprouts a go. So there you have it. I've just popped in my 2 raised beds along here. We're obviously going to build out the rest of this space over the course of the winter, but that kind of concludes my last gardening video of the year. I'm hoping to be in the kitchen hopefully before Christmas, but if not, I want to wish you a very Merry Christmas if I'm not speaking to you beforehand, and a massive thank you for supporting me on my YouTube journey this year. It's been amazing, and I can't wait to bring you along next year just to see how this whole space changes, how productive it can be, and how we can improve on what we did this year. Hopefully the weather will be a bit better. It won't be as wet this summer, hopefully, that's to come. And yeah, overall, so glad to have you here and thrilled with the progress that I've made so far. So thank you so much, as always. You guys are the best. Have a wonderful Christmas, and I will see you all very, very, very soon. Bye.